Rafa Esparza, they're doing Hunger Games. I know they're doing it. You called it. You said it online. UFC announced what it's going to look like in the future dystopian Reebok-only apparel. And frankly, it is gray and black, which means it's time for Purple Tap, the show that proves it is way easier to fight and dress in a good color scheme from outside the cage. I'm Kevin. With me, of course, Rafa Esparza. Raf, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. So we're going to get to talking shit about the Reebok thing because that was too hilarious. But I want to start. I did. I had a great time enjoying all of that because it wasn't just that. It was a 1-2 punch of that and the whole Jose Aldo happening back to back. But, Kev, I want to tell you about a little experience I had yesterday at the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club.
I'm very curious.
Okay. So, as you know, I bought a new Adidas gi, right?
Yeah.
Very excited about it. I saw two people.
Beautiful gi.
Beautiful. I love it. I saw two people who were coming from Hawthorne yesterday at the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club, and I got to roll with both of them. Great people. And I roll with this guy, and he's wearing an Adidas gi, and I go, dude, that's a pretty sweet gi. Did you get it on the 50% deal? And he smiles and he doesn't tell me anything until later on we find in the conversation that he's sponsored by Adidas.
Whoa.
For their gis. So yes, in essence,
he got it in the 50% off deal.
Yeah, definitely. So don't worry about it. But, you know, our good friend Aaron couldn't have been nicer about it. We're joking. We're having a great time shooting the shit. He's telling me all about his training. We know a whole bunch of people who, all train together. It's a good time, right?
Yeah.
Well, okay. So
that's not actually all there is to it.
That's not all that happens. So what ends up happening is he is telling me great things about his training and we don't see each other for a few minutes, and I switch out of, the stuff I was training in, and I put on my new Adidas green shirt that I got. It's in, it says Jiu-Jitsu, and it's got the Brazil colors, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, hello, everybody, and everybody's like, man, that's a nice shirt. I go, thank you. I think so, too. No problem. And out walks our good friend Aaron in a superior Adidas shirt.
Oh, he's just obviously being inflammatory at this point, though, Raph, right?
Absolutely. He's trying to destroy me, Kevin. That's what I'm picking up from this whole thing. And I don't take kindly to being destroyed. And I look at him, and I said, listen here, Aaron. It is a shame that there aren't a set of readily accessible mats here at the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club. Don't look over there. Those aren't being used right now, but don't look at those mats right there. Because we would settle this.
We would.
And I did get to roll with him, and he's fantastic, so it would have been a huge problem for me. Anyway, so
that would have been hard.
We're joking, and he's so funny. We're having a good time. And as I'm leaving, I go to say goodbye to everybody, and I see him wearing his superior shirt, and I can't help but give him one last joke, which is, oh, yeah, I see you're just wearing your shirt. I thought you were a nice guy until I saw you were trying to destroy me, Aaron. How dare you? And he looks at me and he goes, yeah, Raph, it's a shame we don't have those mats. I'll be training for my no sub-only match, which makes me laugh a lot because everybody says sub-only, but when you add no sub-only, then you're thinking points?
There's 0 submissions allowed.
No submissions? Oh, well, I might have a chance here. Yeah, okay,
I like the
we'll
gumption.
do that. Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is like he says it in that Austin Powers way, where as he's saying it, he's realizing, oh, shit, that's really funny, but I need to commit. So the two of us are laughing, and we, leave. And, our good friend Alex Perez is giving me a ride home. And we're maybe no less than 3 minutes away from my home when I get a call from our good friend Joey Hauss, who you'll get to know a little bit later in the podcast, who's like, hey, guys, did Ref or you happen to, take this guy's Adidas bag? And I go, what?
Oh, no.
He's like, yeah, we noticed right now that maybe somebody took his bag because it's missing. So we were hoping maybe you guys did. And I 100% know it's me because
You knew it already. You were like,
I
I
could feel it.
definitely stole the bag.
Yeah.
That was 1000% me. That's
And you have to
funny.
remember, Kevin, that the last part that I left him on was a threat. So,
To steal his shit.
yeah. So it's the worst kind of joke that could then be true. And then you have to own up to it because you go, I must have accidentally stole his fucking bag. I can't fucking believe of all the
I must have done
times.
this on purpose. This is like the movie The Judge. I obviously did it. I'm so sorry.
Kevin, please use a movie people have seen. Please. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. This is obviously like the movie Lean on Me.
Oh my
He
God,
knows
no,
he
it's
did
not.
it. No,
Jesus
damn it.
Christ.
Shit.
Although it's
Should've put
Morgan
him in the
Freeman with
spot
a
like
bullhorn
that.
the whole time. They're like, you smoke crack, don't you? I will never be tired of doing that.
That's exactly how Raph was the entire.
These children, they need to read, huh? What are you doing over there? They call me Shoeless Joe. They don't call me Shoeless Joe no
gotta give
more
me that
because I hit him
thing,
with a
dude.
baseball bat.
Anyway, so I actually have to go out that night, and I am unable to take the bag back to him, but our good friend Alex does it. And I feel compelled to take Alex's phone. Then don't get ahead of me. I borrow Alex's phone so that I could put a message to Aaron and his buddy who had to wait for Alex to take the bag back, in which I professed to being a huge dipshit and an idiot. And fortunately, I find from Alex and our good friend Aaron as well that the video was well received. Aaron sends me a very nice note back on Facebook saying how funny it is and a friend request. So it all ends well, which is great.
With you getting
But it was
more
also a
friends.
threat back to me, Kev. You know what he ended
Why?
on? He
What did
says
he
he
say?
will be training hard for our no sub only match. So I would say to my new frenemy, Aaron Gonzalez Jr., game on.
Ooh, I like this. Yeah, and Raph will steal your bag again. Don't think
No,
he's
don't
above
tell
it.
him that. That's just mean.
Oh,
I've,
sorry.
I've
I
accidentally
thought
stolen
we
it
were-
once, and it was rough. I can't believe I did that. So that was a really funny thing to happen to me yesterday. And you know the sad part is he was telling me, he's like, dude, your podcast sounds so cool. I'm gonna go ahead and listen to it.
Sure it does.
So like
yeah.
every single possible thing that this guy couldn't be nicer, couldn't be more helpful.
So great. Why don't you steal it? Oh,
Yeah.
Where are we at on that? We're all.
So I thought I would give that story to you, our good jiu-jitsu friend. So I want to thank everybody who was at the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club yesterday for opening us up with welcome arms. Brian Peterson held a really great seminar, learned a whole bunch of wrestling stuff from there, and then some. So no gi seminar, and he cooked some amazing ribs. We'll talk a little bit more about that on the podcast later, but I just wanted to say thanks to Brian Peterson and everybody who came out yesterday. And again, my apologies. Aaron Gonzalez Jr., you're a good guy. I'm jealous of you. How dare you be sponsored by Adidas? That's just too good. I think that'll do it for that. Let's go ahead and change topics so that I can feel less embarrassed and talk about
do
the
we have
UFC's bad week. Yeah, let's transition from my bad day to
Fine.
the UFC's bad week.
Well, what are you referring to? Their bad week? Are you Are you potentially throwing out the idea that having a world tour to promote a fight that's not happening suggests a bad week?
Could be very bad, yes.
How bad is this? You know more about the rating stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You do. How bad is this from a ratings perspective? We're just talking money for the UFC.
Well, the UFC was expecting this on their internal tracking. Dana was saying it was going to sell over 1 million pay-per-view buys. Now, if you're just taking a poll amongst some of your friends, and this isn't scientific, but it can be indicative of a bigger issue, when people heard, Kevin, that Jose Aldo was out against Conor McGregor, did you have any people who said they wouldn't watch that fight anymore?
I certainly had people that lost interest in the card as a whole. So it's not like, hey, I'm less excited to see. Oh, I mean, it is a little bit that. It's obviously a little less excited to see Conor McGregor fight, but it's also just like, yeah, well, now this fucking card is fine. It's not great.
Yeah.
And as a UFC fan, look, hey, I get it. injuries are not something you can control. It's not like you can control that his ribs would get cracked. It just feels like this happens a lot. It's hard to get excited as a UFC fan about a title fight coming up until it happens. And that's a new phenomenon for us.
I didn't, I'm still excited to see Chad Mendes fight him.
I barely cared when it was Aldo.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody knows the real appeal of this is Conor McGregor. And Dana, as this is pretty evidenced, was so ready to just give a title to Conor McGregor that then when he heard that Jose Aldo was going to, puss out and not take the fight, not only did he bury him so hard on cable sports and being like, well, I guess you can't fight if a fighter's fucking fearing for their fucking life, so fuck him. This is an interim title. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, what do you mean? Is it in the wheelhouse of the interim titles, or are you just pissed he's not fighting?
But don't interim titles usually happen for champions who are going to be out for a year? Aldo is scheduled to be back here in October. Now, maybe they may take their time with it now that this has been announced, but, it took forever, if you'll recall, for them to, shit or get off the pot with Cruz. And with Dominic, they gave him forever. You've got Kane, who they're like, he's fine. He didn't fight for, 600,000 days? And, maybe they finally gave an interim title, I guess, if we have to. This was no less than 2 days to go by that Dana's a little worried that a rib may ruin his fight week. I'm sorry, international fight week. And that leads Dana to, okay, fuck you, interim title, get in there.
They had a fight tour.
They did. That was rough to watch. But Kev, we'll come back to Conor in a little bit, but that wasn't the most hilarious thing that happened to the UFC. We were all expecting that. It was the Reebok press conference.
Oh my God. What the fuck is going on with the... Okay, explain to me what you saw, and did you know it was going on? Did you know it was happening before it happened?
Yes.
Obviously, you might have been just paying attention. Did they mention that they were going to be doing it in the exact same shot that they did the Maze movie, or whatever that was, Trail Runner or something?
The Maze Runner?
Thank you, the Maze Runner.
It's really sad when you see you put it together like a puzzle.
The Maze Puzzle Chess Runner?
Mm-hmm. That's a good one. So they had been planning this for a long time. They made the announcement back in December that this was going to be the week. International Fight Week was going to be the week that they release the Reebok gear. Now, I've heard from many sources that the Reebok gear itself is actually pretty cool. People who are wearing the combat gear in particular like the rash guards. They like the way they feel. Apparently, Reebok was really pushing the idea that they've been working closely with some of the fighters. Do you know who they were working really closely with, though, Kev?
I know they were big fans of Ronda Rousey. I have no other earthly idea who they were interested in.
Ronda was popular, but nowhere near as popular as their interactions with Gilbert Melendez.
Really?
Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. I said his name wrong. Gilbert Melendez? Jesus, I can't believe I made that mistake. Gilbert is known in the UFC, obviously, as Le Nino, is his nickname. And, just good stuff from him. So there was also... Did you know that Jacare is a great first name?
I did know that.
Yeah, great. It's so great that Crocodile, or the Portuguese equivalent of it, is a first name rather than Ronaldo. So there's also that. These were mistakes made on jerseys, by the way. And
of course
there's also Josh Koscheck is apparently still fighting for the UFC. So wonderful, wonderful, very close relations between the UFC and the Reebok talent. But that wasn't the end of it. I mean, Kev, this was a disaster upon all disasters because this press conference was poorly lit. It looked like a combination between a shareholders meeting and a Pride, like the Pride fighting angles and camera shots that they were using, except at least Pride had the good sense to
This
try
was
and
gonna be
fight
my-
their fighters.
This was going to be my question to you. It's like, did they put a lot of work into this, or were they just like,
yeah.
who gives a shit? It won't matter.
Oh, yeah, they definitely tried.
Oh, damn it. That makes it worse then. Because
Yeah.
trying, it's easier to swallow if they just didn't give a shit at all.
And it was weird because they made so many spelling errors that it wasn't just conduced to the online stuff. It'd be different if it was just, oh, hey, this happened at the press conference. We don't know how to spell the word flexibility. Instead, it's just flexibility.
To
But
their
when they
defense, it's a shitty hard word to spell. Just saying.
not
Let's not
particularly.
get judgy. Okay.
But on the other side, you couple that with the fact that the UFC just really struggled to make something work with it. It just seemed amateurish. It didn't seem like it was the real payoff of what was, well, I guess, 6-7 months worth of preparation time. So
That's the part, like, this feels like it's been going on for 6 years. Let alone, it just felt like they had plenty of time to get this right.
yeah, and
It's not a tough equation.
yeah. So, the fight kit thing, I still don't know that I understand it. The fight kit sounds like something you give to a fighter when they think they're going to test for roids. But,
Fight kit. Hey, did you take a fight kit? You got a test coming up.
there's also, these people were putting out memes as fast as the eye could see. One of my favorites compared the new UFC uniforms for different countries for different colors to Uno pieces, which was hilarious. And, it's just, I had several questions, Kevin. Do you want to answer a couple of these for me?
I would love to. I'm
Okay.
sure I can.
Okay.
It's going to be hard at all.
Did the lack of professional presentation hurt the launch of the UFC's partnership with Reebok?
Are you joking? It only helped it. This is the exact thing we expect for them. Utter chaos, not sure what's available for purchase, and general confusion about the direction of the sport.
Excellent. Those are
I'd
very
say we're only
prominent
more
points.
in.
Yep. Follow-up question. Is anyone actually going to shill out $95 to wear the equivalent of a UFC jersey?
I guess I would answer with, I never thought someone would shell out $35 to wear a tap-out jersey, so yes.
But $95 to say, you know what, I like Misha Tate so much. I want to
How
wear...
expensive they are.
I don't know. However, I thought I saw this, and maybe this is just my eyes. I thought I saw them get reduced to $79, maybe shortly after the UFC press conference.
They fucking better be. I don't know.
In which case,
see,
how much do you think that press conference played a role in that, where they go, oh, fuck, it was so bad. Lower the price, $15.
100%. They were like, are we fucking high? What were we charging for this? Are you kidding? Let's go back.
So, I guess I'll ask you this last one. Okay. Does the company's poor use of spelling, and this is an important question for you because, you struggle with the English language,
Fair.
identify a larger issue in that Reebok is only a partner in name and that they have zero familiarity with the fighters that they claim to be working closely with?
Yes is the answer to that, though I just want to not be lumped in because I don't know how to spell with a lack of appreciation.
I don't know.
I don't know if I can grant that request, but I do appreciate that you asked.
As a person who has worked very hard in the writing and journalism industries,
Spelling milieu.
spelling is kind of the thing. That's like the one thing they tell you to not fuck up, not get
And
the story
I
right.
do
or
feel like I
truth.
would have a little bit more attention to detail if I were, say, in that field. Shut up, Raph. You don't need to be a dick about all of it. Like, you can just, give me that one for sure.
I don't know.
Still.
But, Kev, don't we have a great show for people today?
We have so much great show. I'm gonna mispronounce things. See, there you go.
God. Wow. Out the
Things are
window.
going to get mispronounced. People are going to be on the podcast. There's going to be real fighters on this podcast. That's going to be great.
That's true. Who do we have on today? We have our good friend,
Well, Edwin Najmi is swinging by first.
Yes.
That's numero uno. And you won't tell me exactly who is on the rest of the podcast, though I'm starting to get a hint you might have been training with someone that will be on the podcast.
That is definitely a hint. Yes.
Look at me putting shit together. Look out.
So that will be a little bit later for our over-under Kevin segment.
But I know about Edwin. That was, and I'm excited because, BJJ.
Yeah, obviously.
Hi, how do I do what you do? What's the equation? Just tell me the 3-step process. Don't want to hear any more. Thanks.
We should have a rule on here that if we ask a fighter or a jiu-jitsu guy, like, how do I do what you do? And they give an answer that just says, lots of hard work. We just hang up the phone right then and there.
Well, let me think about that because that sounds dangerous. But
Okay.
I like where your head's at.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
All right, let's go talk to some people.
Sounds like a good idea.
Verbal Tap fans, we're suckers for the jiu-jitsu, Raph. Especially those people that have those. We like attackers. That's what we like. We have a soft spot for people that attack. We like it when they attack gi. We like it when they attack nogi. We like it all. Our guest today is an attacker, Edwin Najmi, fighting Igor Makaiber on July 11th. We're stoked about the Submission Series Pro. We've been talking to a lot of fighters on the line this evening. Edwin, how are you doing?
Good. How about you guys? Thanks for having me on. It's an honor to be on the podcast.
Doing great. Yeah, we were telling you off air that we were nervous you might flying triangle or armbar someone. We don't know what you're capable of. I mean, we have a pretty good idea based off of your competitive record. How are you? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I haven't developed those powers yet to flying triangle over the phone, but maybe
Oh,
one day.
okay.
Don't believe you me. I believe when it is possible, you'll be the first to pioneer it. So we're not really afraid on that one. Ed, I got to ask you this because I'm curious. As someone who doesn't take to the flighting, how long and how many failed attempts does it really take for you to get that flying triangle? Because I feel like every time I would want to try that, it would just go thud.
Yeah. I think like if like someone like doesn't know how to do it, like is not there like to teach you how to like exactly do it, it probably take a lot of failed attempts. Just because like it's like a hard move to break down, like it looks really complicated. So yeah, it might take a lot, maybe like 100. But I think like if I'm there or like someone that just understands the move can break it down for you, you can pick it up in probably like in an hour or 2 hours of like drilling,
I always say it's like it looks really complicated. It's like, well,
Yeah.
it has to. It can't just look that way. Like there's a little bit of.
I guess I've always just wanted to know, why is it that you hate triangles on the ground so much?
Yeah, what did the
You feel that
ground
you need
triangle
to
do to
just
you?
go with the air. You're like, oh, boring to get a triangle on the ground.
I don't know. I think like triangle like on the ground is like kind of like a low percentage move now. Like as like the level gets higher, it's like really hard. Like from the closed guard, spider guard, like people are like they're too smart, too high level, and like they don't fall for it. So that's why I almost don't get any. But when I was like a blue belt, white belt, that's all I did was blue belt, triangles from closed guard and spider guard, and then like I guess I just apply like the same finishes to the flying triangle. But yeah, it's like almost impossible to do triangles. I try sometimes, but the guys are too smart. They always like back weight break the grip, so that's why. Yeah.
And what are you training for as you head to Canada? And this is cool. You're headed to the Submission Series Pro, which is a really cool Canadian-based fight company that's inviting big fighters, you being one of those big fighters, out to fight some of their local talent. It's being headlined by Tom DeBlas versus Jay Oasis. We got to talk to Tom last week. How are you preparing to go into that environment, jiu-jitsu-wise, and fight?
Nothing the same. I just like had like a little break after the Worlds to take care of some injuries, and then I just got back right into training, just training the same, like twice, 3 times a day, every day, just getting ready. Like I don't usually like change much, even though it's like submission only, because my game is basically just submission only. I don't really usually win any other way, so like I'm lucky. I don't have to change like anything. Don't make my training special for it. So just doing the same thing, and like I'm confident. I can't wait. It's gonna be fun. First time competing in Canada as well, so it should be exciting.
So when you were told you were going to fight MacGyver, what was the first thing that went through your head?
Well,
Ref, McKyber
What's that?
with a C, with McKyber with a C, not with a
No,
G.
I thought he was fighting Richard Dean Anderson as MacGyver.
No. I first of all, I still like Edwin's chances in that fight.
Okay, I do
think it's
too.
going to be much more competitive, but it's
Although,
not
if
McGyver.
I could be fair and really play devil's advocate, if MacGyver has a paperclip, his father's love, and some gum, it's kind of equal. I'm not sure.
He fires Edwin into the ocean on a rocket randomly. No. I mean, Edwin, you're probably prepared for that too, just in case McKyber's a misspelling. Are you
yeah,
prepared?
sure, of course.
I was like, yeah, absolutely.
You're a
Yeah,
super
we've been training for that.
athlete,
Are you
but,
kidding? It's crazy
you don't know
bar.
how much Kevin and I have been waiting to say MacGyver in terms of who you're fighting, but that is not who you're fighting. You're fighting a guy named McKyber. What do you know about him? What is the appeal? Like, how did you get involved? All of that stuff.
So I think I was like originally contacted to fight on the January card, and then that didn't happen. I think I was hurt or something like that, or maybe I had a seminar. I think I was hurt, so that didn't work out. And then I was supposed to fight on this card, but then I had my fight scheduled when I was a brown belt, so I had a different opponent actually in the beginning. And then after the Worlds, when I won, I got black belt. They changed my opponent to this guy. So yeah, that's like basically the history.
That old chestnut story. You know, you win
but-
Worlds as a brown belt and you get through black belt, and they got to find you a tougher opponent up in the old Canada. Raph, that happened to me back in 2003.
Been there.
Yeah, that's.
But yeah, like,
normal story.
and then like yeah, and I like asked to fight a black belt because I think that's like, I don't know, I want to already like, I don't know, if I was a black belt, I wouldn't want to fight a brown belt, especially if like he's tough, you know. I think that's like too smart to do. So yeah, that's how they switched the opponent as well. So yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because I fought Cole Porter as a brown belt, and like I get the black belt, and like I know how it feels, you know, like if you're a brown belt, you have nothing to lose, like just go for the kill, you know, like you only have to gain. If you lose to the black belt, so
Yeah, which is expected versus
exactly.
Yeah, I like that. I like that mentality. And when you say you're training 2 to 3 times a day, I'm always curious, what types of rounds are you getting in? Are you sticking with a traditional class structure of like a technique beforehand, or you're getting in like competition type rounds?
More competition. Like at night, it's like a little more technique, but like usually at homos, we just train like a lot of rounds a day, like a ridiculous amount of rounds. So yeah, maybe like 15 rounds a day. So yeah, there's not too much drilling, like, you know, or anything like that. Maybe there's like specific training some days from like some positions, but we don't drill too much at our gym. So it's kind of like you just go to war, you know. And then,
Yeah. Just get the shit beat out of you. Love it. Like the training sessions. So you're basically just fighting like crazy the entire time. And is this a gi match?
Yeah, it's the 15 minutes submission only.
Okay.
So let me ask you this. You know, Edwin, you're always out. You're always competing. You're so active on the circuit. What has changed for you? Because I feel like a lot of people have watched your journey and are very familiar with your game, and they like you a lot. What have you noticed has maybe changed in the past 3 years? What kind of breakthroughs have you had, just not in competition, but just in your own jiu-jitsu journey?
I feel like my game got like way more complete my second year at purple belt. So until purple belt, I don't think I ever even like attempted a guard pass. So yeah, ever since I started playing on top, I feel like that like changed my game. I was like more complete. I wasn't like predictable. So I feel like that changed, and then like I gained a lot of confidence as well, like my own ability to compete and win. And I feel like that came from wrestling. I started wrestling like 2 years ago at Church Boys Wrestling, and I feel like with the coach there, Coach Jacob Harmon, and the training there, they gave me like a lot of mental confidence and that like I didn't have before. You know, like before I used to go to a tournament and be scared to fight like the best guy. And now like I want to fight the best guys and I want to beat them. So I think that was like a big breakthrough.
Yeah, we may need to take a second because Kevin doesn't have the luxury of being out here in California like yourself or myself. Church Boys Wrestling. So explain what that is to Kevin, because here's the thing, Kev.
Title.
Some of the top level wrestlers go through there, and it is amazing. Like whenever I see somebody post a photo that they're training there, I'm in awe of their ability to get to train there, but I just don't know if a lot of people know of it maybe outside of these realms. Do you mind kind of filling in the blanks there, Ed?
Yeah. So it's like basically like it's a school, I think, and like a private school, and then like we just use like the mat for like a pro wrestling practice. So it's like pro MMA fighters, grapplers, and wrestlers, and then like the coach compartment, he's actually like the wrestling coach of the school. And yeah, it's kind of like an invite only, and it's really high level. It's like the best grapplers like Boucher, Jiujitsu, Song Bahal, Corbina actually just started going there, like all these high level guys. And then like MMA, there's like Rafa Dos Anjos, Daniel Dariush, so, and then like of course everybody else, but like it's just like really, really high level, and like everyone is there like to be champion, like if you're there to slack off, like he won't even let you train pretty much, like or you won't survive, or you won't come back. So it's really high level. And then after like these guys are high level, and then there's like the high level wrestlers like Aaron Pico and stuff, but yeah, like we don't even like bother them. They're on their own like corner because like, they'll of course like beat us up. But
So when it is by invite mostly only, and when you get that note, what's the first thing that goes through your head when you are given that first invite to go train there?
like I want to say like it's not like invite only, but it's kind of like a private class. Like you can show up if you know somebody and train, but it's just like the training is not for everybody. Like to be honest, like I have two friends there, and then like they never went back because like it's really, really tough. Like it's honestly it's way harder than any tournament I've fought in my life. So it's probably the hardest like 2-3 hour session that I've had in my whole life. Like I don't think anything's even close to that. So it like really pushes you mentally. There's 0 water breaks. It's just like there's actually like as opposed to like jiu-jitsu when you're training. And then, like, usually your professor trains the mat with you. He doesn't train.
Water breaks. That's terrifying to me. Sorry, I just had a flashback to, like, 6th grade football.
Yeah. And then, like, he's only coaching as well, so that makes a big difference. He's always on top of you. Like, you can never be lazy, never slack. So he's always, like, screaming at you to keep going harder. So it's amazing, Like, you can't ask for anything else than that.
There's not like a place you can kind of hide out and just be like, hey, what's this
cry
random wall that I can kind of train behind?
If you sit out here, then you better be ready for the beat down. But yeah,
it sounds like it really does change your mental vibe because you do have to approach that. But if we can follow up on this water thing, why the no water? Because I don't know if I've read that scientific journal yet, but usually the human body needs water. So
yeah.
With that said, is there an idea for it? Is it more to like mentally get your mind prepared that you don't need other things, that you just need to focus on the training? Like, what is it?
Yeah, I think it's just like mental strength. Like I didn't even know about technique, but like I take so much like mental training like out of there. Like it's crazy. It's like it's really, really tough. It's like you're completely out of your comfort zone at all times. So it's hard to explain. Like it's hard to explain. You guys can come one day if you want to check it out.
Well, wait, what the shit is wrong with you? How do you go from telling us like, I brought some friends and they just didn't come, but Raph, you gotta come. You'll do great.
It's a cool experience though because it's just so high level and everyone around you is like everyone's a champion like something. All high level competitors. It just motivates you, to get better and keep pushing. Like if you quit, you look around you and there's always like high level guys, keep going and like going harder and harder. So like you don't want to quit. It's like it's just like good vibes, good energy, and it just I feel like it's like a really, really big part of my training.
This is the weirdest mixed signal set of words that I've ever heard in my life. It's like, no, it's great. You see all these people who are like, don't you dare quit, but it's good vibes and they're helping you.
Yeah.
But then you want to kill yourself because you don't have any water, but still.
Yeah, you just feel accomplished after. Like you feel like, man, like I really gave it all. Like you can't go there, and I feel like, and you can't leave there and not give it your all. You just feel like, man, like when you go to a tournament and then you think about those training sessions, you're like, man, no one could beat me. No one did what I did. And there's no way like any match or any tournament can be harder than that. I don't think so.
Insane.
So
Well, thank you for this perspective. One of these days, should I hate my body and not respect myself anymore, I will
That's the
definitely
way to
take you up
think
on
about
it.
it, Raph.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know. That sounds insane. But it does. I do notice a higher caliber of wrestler that does come out of there, and I've seen it with other people who do compete in MMA, who I know who speak high praises of it. So
Yeah.
that is a really good thing to get some insight. And I've never really heard it as in depth as you're talking about it. So that's really cool. Kev, do you feel jealous now that you don't have this out here?
I feel, yeah, I'd say lucky jealous is the word. Yeah, definitely a hint of jealousy. Mostly luck. Mostly. I just have one of those things where it's like Dave working at Letterman or working at Taco Bell, where you're just like crying next to the FICA. It's like, and they're just yelling at you. They're still crying at Church Boys Wrestling. It's like, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to. Edwin told me I'd enjoy it. He was wrong. He was wrong, and I don't. That's mostly what I see. But I'm trying to fight.
It also does make me a little nervous to think that, like, if Edwin's planning a night out for his friends, it's like, hey, what are we doing, Ed? It's like, oh, dude, we're totally going out. It's going to be great. We're going to Church Boys Wrestling.
And then
I thought we were going to go see a
laser tag
movie,
for
and
4 hours uphill,
And then
mountain
we're
laser
gonna
tag.
training at Humble Hall.
Yes, and that's a different aspect that I think is good to get into, because I do feel that, as opposed to, say, me, who doesn't have that kind of precursor, because training with Homolo has to at least get you to that point mentally and technique-wise that you're there.
Yeah.
So you do have that going on. How did you guys get together, and what was it specifically about him that made you kind of want to go in that direction, or that you felt that you guys made a good fit?
It was honestly like all luck. I just walked into the local jiu-jitsu gym right next to the subway by my house, and it happened to be Humble Hall. Like, I got really lucky. Like, I think that's like really, really rare. Like, that doesn't happen like almost like none of the top competitors. But yeah, and then I don't know. We just like, yeah, you're just like a older brother, maybe like even like a second father, like a mentor to me. So yeah, it just worked out great. Of course, like a lot of times I felt like killing him because he pushed me so hard. Like maybe the things I didn't want to do, like train so hard, like like injured or even like when I was overtrained. But in the end, like it all paid off, and it's gonna continue to pay off. So yeah, I'm lucky that the local gym was Humble Hall. I could have walked into Actually, when I started jiu-jitsu, there was two options. There was two gyms that I didn't know like anything about jiu-jitsu, but one gym was Humble Hall, and the other one was Jean-Jacques Machado. So I don't think I would have been wrong with either choice.
Yeah,
Shit.
the story would have ended up very well for you, I feel.
Yeah, exactly. I got lucky. There was no McDojos around here, so I got lucky.
Yeah,
I just
no
love the
lie.
fact that part of your story involves, so you go to a Subway, you're thinking, oh man, I could really go for a Black Forest ham sandwich. Oh, what's this? Jiu-jitsu? Oh, I guess if... Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Because here's the other thing I wonder, because I don't know if you know this, but when you go to different gyms, was it right next to the Subway, like in the same shopping kind of center, right next to it?
Yeah,
kind of.
next door, yeah.
Okay. Does that ever impede on the way you guys were training? Because those Subways, you smell the bread forever. So is that something that you guys smell when you're over at Homelos?
Yeah, like when I started training, I was 16, so I didn't really have a diet. So I think I ate there every day. So. but now that it's good, we changed location, so there's no more Subway next to it. And now we have
That's
a bakery, so it might be even worse.
What the shit?
Yeah.
That's a terrible upgrade for you guys. I love that at least with Subway you had a chance to really get through. With the bakery,
Yeah, it's
Jesus.
tough.
That's all right. All right. Well, it's all going back to that mental toughness that you guys got to develop as you're going there. So let me ask you this: what is it that we can expect from the match over at Submission Series Pro? Because I don't know that like 100 amount of people, they're starting to get more exposed to it, but I don't know if people really know what the format is or what it's like. Do you mind kind of like helping people out to know what that is?
Yeah. So basically, it's like a Canada-based submission-only tournament. It's every match is 15 minutes, submission only, UNLV, and then if there's no submissions, you just end in a draw, so there's no winner. So I think that's pretty cool. and because it gives you incentive to submit the guy, and nobody really wants to draw. And yeah, and pretty much they like put out like the local stars in the area against like other guys. You know, they're flying like 5-6 guys at every event to fight against like local guys. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Like for us to compete in Canada, the guys like out of town, and then like the people that are like living in Canada to like test themselves against other people. And like some of them are like really high level competitors as well. They can be at the world.
Are you gonna throw some poutine back? Have you put that on the agenda yet?
Definitely. Last time I was in Montreal, I had some really good poutine. So
now we're talking.
I'm planning on going back.
Just, he's a fighter, Raph. I want to make sure he's thinking about how to refill those calories afterwards.
Absolutely. It doesn't sound like he's having any problem with the new bakery that he's got right next to him.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm a lightweight now, so I don't have to cut too much weight until I fight featherweight again. So I'm okay.
I had to wonder too, are they paying you in American dollars or Canadian dollars? Because Canadian dollars, I'm told,
cowboy dollars.
Whoa,
I mean American.
Okay, just making sure because we love the Submission Series Pro guys, but
they're
crafty bastards.
I'm just saying I wouldn't know what the conversion rate is, so I might get ripped off.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. You sound smarter than me, so that's good.
We're going to be paying you in Kenyan rubies, so good news. You're making a lot. We're just going to have that wired. Well, and you've got some other fights coming up.
Uh-huh.
You've got stuff sort of planned because you've hit that super fight status. You said you had another. You also you're offering seminars right now, so people are looking for some Edwin Najmi magic. Get in touch with the man, book him at your school. Who are you fighting in September?
I'm gonna fight Castillo Osvaldo Mozinho at the Guatemala Open, so that'll be cool, I think.
Yeah, the
He's
Guatemala Open.
Yeah, for the first one ever, they're gonna have like pretty big super fights. I think it's me and Castillo, and then it's Sean Roberts versus Majid Hage, Budo Jake versus Jeff Glover.
Yep.
Joao Miao versus somebody, some kind of guys, but yeah, should be good.
That's a great card to be a part of. So, I mean, the props to them for getting that out. I do have an interesting, I guess, question. What is your take on the Budo Jake versus Jeff Glover fight?
I think that's awesome. I think like for Budo Jake to take that match, test himself. I think it's cool. Like, why not? What did you have to lose? I know like they trained on that rolled up episode a couple years back, and he got beat up pretty bad. So this is a chance to get paid back.
I just remember when I saw it, I thought at first I was like, "Oh, cool. Where is this going out?" And I was like, "Oh man, this is a legit thing." And I remembered that episode, and I just go, "Man, wait, did I just not read the trades right? Did they like talk some? Do they have some beef to settle?" Like, who has beef with Jeff Glover like that? So my brain kind of melted for a little while.
Yeah. I don't know, but I think it's cool. It's just like, and it adds exposure to the card as well. Budo Jake's pretty big in the community, so I think it's cool. Especially only two, I think. So should be fun.
No, that's fantastic. So you've got that going down, and that's you're saying the initial version of that one.
Yeah, it's the first one, yeah.
Awesome. That's really, really cool to be a part of. Kevin and I know we wanted to ask you too. What did it feel like to be a part of Copa Podio this year?
It was awesome, man. It's probably like the best experience at a tournament I've had. Like you actually feel like a professional athlete. They treat you really good. So yeah, I had a great time. I feel like it's like a good step in the future for the sport, and like they keep it up. Like they're gonna keep on like taking the sport to like different bigger levels. And yeah, I had a great time, honestly. Even though I was American in Brazil, like they treated me so good, Like
I was American in Brazil. If only you did something they like to watch. Fortunately,
I was speaking a little Portuguese in the promo, so they love me.
Everyone's like, I know how to stay active. I'll stay.
Oh my God, he loves the library. Yeah.
Guys, did you hear his Portuguese? Excuse me, is Portuguesa? Like, did you hear that?
Yeah, Leandro Lo and Felipe were teaching me how to talk smack on the pre-fight interview, so that was pretty fun. Yeah, I had a blast, man. I hope I'll be back in October. It'll be great.
I like what they tell you. Yeah, that's you have to have a lot of trust to listen to them talk shit. I feel like they could also send you down a pretty dangerous path.
Yeah, well, I have a pretty good understanding of Portuguese. Like, I can understand everything pretty much, but like I can't like put my words together like that good yet. But
the next thing you know, you say, "I give free rides on the air." It's all fun and games when you're Leandro Lo. You gotta keep an eye out.
I think I said like, what I say? What's up, guys? My name is Edwin Najmi. Be ready for war tomorrow, or like something like that. But I said like in a funny way though. It was cool.
I just love that somebody had to assure you what you said was cool. Like you said it, and then somebody goes, "No, but for real, you were a real badass on that one. We totally told him to say that, and he bought it." What?
I was gonna say that's how I would feel if I was like, Raph, I need you to load me with some shit. What are you talking about, Kevin? I am nothing. I'm about to go.
I would 100% give you the best thing in the world, Kevin. I would not play any tricks on you.
You'd put a for sale sign on my chest. It's Edwin, this is a different discussion. You don't need to be a part of our drama. So, fighting all over the place, training like crazy. Where can people find you just on social media if they're trying to get a shot of your you rocking a new gi? Just for the people that are, the gear stalkers. Not that I'm one of them, obviously, Raph. I'm just talking about the audience that do like to store.
Yep.
Yeah, so pretty much just like Edwin Najmi on every social media. So I got that locked down. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Awesome. So that way you don't have to put the real Edwin Najmi.
Exactly.
It's a whole problem in the Twitter area.
I know.
Verbal Tap fans.
Make sure it's me.
He's not just a flying triangle expert. Edwin swings by to school us on it. Thank you so much for swinging by the podcast this evening, Edwin.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Verbal Tap fans. Edwin Najmi.
Actually, guys, I have Gabriel Arges here. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. I don't know if you guys want me to put him on for a second. He's pretty badass as well.
Hold on, wait. So he's just sitting there because has he been there the whole time?
Maybe.
Well, do us a solid. Obviously, you're great. We love talking with you, but you're old news now. Go ahead and bring him on. Let's talk with him.
All right, you guys are replacing me. I'll remember this, okay?
No. Don't rewrite this script.
That was Raph Esparza, and the next time you guys roll together, you should just, do what feels natural.
Christ.
All right, I'll put him on. There you go.
Thanks, man.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Gabriel.
Not much, man. How you doing, dude?
I'm doing fine. I'm just hearing the podcast with Edwin, having fun with the talk. Thanks for talking to me, too.
Gabriel's like, I'll steal that fucking mic. Are you kidding? I know how to choke people. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. Yeah, we're doing some couple workouts here in the morning. So we're chilling here, me and Edwin after that, and I'll have some fun with the podcast.
And what does training mean in the morning? You guys are gonna run up 2 mountains and fight for 2 hours. What do you have scheduled for the morning?
For the morning, we're doing a lot of no-gi training, especially the ATC camp for Hauss. So pretty much every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the training is like 2.5 hours of a little bit of drilling during the warm up for some takedown entries for him, and then a lot of sparring.
A lot of sparring. And may I ask, because this is always something I'm curious about with I don't do the top level competition training. I know, buckle in on a surprise, but I do a lot of training. Are you guys heel hooking and foot attacks on that, or does it kind of depend on the match?
Yeah, for sure. Especially now, we're trying to attempt some ripping the knee and heel hooks, so Homo can get used to the game, So especially for the points, we're doing ATC rules pretty much, So starting standing, there's no so much of pulling guard right now, so we can all get everybody on the same page for the training camp, So it's been great for him and great for everyone else that's gonna compete on the no-gi season as well. So it's been great. Yeah, it's really hard training.
And no-gi is always... I tried to flying triangle someone recently, slid off because we were on like our 5th round of training no-gi. Nearly went into a wall.
Wow.
I'm just...
Especially no-gi, that must be hard. I actually tried a couple times of flying triangle. I have some maybe 3 attempts during the Worlds and Pan Ams, and didn't end up so well. I think Najmi should give me some privates with that, because the flying triangle didn't work out so good for me. I saw my neck and I almost didn't finish the fight. So I'm definitely not one of those flying triangles.
Yeah, I don't tend to mess around with them all that much. I mean, Edwin's obviously somebody that you look up to when you see those things and you go, wow, that'd be great. I'm not doing it. But
yeah, for sure. It's great to watch, not to do it for me.
Absolutely. I'll watch that highlight forever, but nope, thank you. But when you're looking at somebody like Kevin, and Kevin does it and calls me and goes, Raph, I tried to flying triangle someone today. It didn't go great.
Yeah.
And there's not much you can tell him that brings him out of that. But tell us a little bit about you. Where did training start for you? How did you get involved in coming out this way? And how did you end up meeting Edwin?
I met Edwin actually the first time that I came here, which was back in 2012, when me and Felipe Pena, Preguiça, he brought me for my actually first Worlds camp. So that's when I started training with Romulo, and then I met Edwin. So since then, I've been coming back and forth, training in Brazil with Felipe and coming here to train with Romulo, and it's been great. Like Edwin, Romulo, they helped me so much as far as training and competition. So it's been a great journey, actually. Like, I'm glad I chose that path for me, It was like, back in 2012, it was just a dream. Like, me and Edwin was like just a blue belt and training, dreaming to become a world champion. Now, like, we look back and see that we actually achieved that, and now we're living just for jiu-jitsu. It's just like we're glad to that. It's a blast.
When you guys were you're staying with Edwin right now, right?
Yeah, I'm with him.
Okay, do me a favor, because I want to know, what is the coolest thing in his house that people wouldn't expect?
The coolest thing.
Yeah.
We asked
not
the
like I'm
questions.
Not
We
like
asked
I'm
the tough
casing the
questions.
joint, like I want to, take it. But let's just say maybe, I don't know, maybe he's got some Hickson holy water somewhere. Or maybe he's got some weird jiu-jitsu memorabilia that we don't know about. Like, is there something there that you just wouldn't have expected that is in the Najmi household?
Yeah, there's a waterfall, actually. So, like, we jump, and then we had some fun here. But, yeah, I would say that's the special thing here,
So the special thing is a waterfall, which I 100% am jealous of.
I was like, baller status.
But, but number dos, when you say you're having fun, what are you guys doing? Like, I just at
we
first
just do like some jumps, like when you're chilling by the pool, back flip, front flip. I know don't do that. Don't do this at home, okay, kids? But we had some fun, like here and there, like doing some jumps, and when everybody's here together, hanging out, and that's pretty much it. That's all we do. Train, live the lifestyle, and have fun, hang out together.
That's good stuff, man. How long are you out here for?
Out here probably until Nogi Road, and
Okay.
I'm actually having a super fight in England, a Super 15. Actually, not a super fight. It's going to be a Grand Prix with Brian Morizzi, Sebastian Brochet, and somebody else for the brown belt 85. Like Grand Prix they're going to have. So looking forward to that. And also the Nogi season, Pan Ams and Nogi Roads.
Okay, now you can't hate me, but I just wished Sebastian a happy birthday.
Okay, no problem. No worries.
Okay, just making sure that we're still good because he's good people and a hell of a competitor. So I like that matchup or that Grand Prix a lot.
Yeah, that should be fun.
That's awesome. And that's how did that come together? Where is that going to be taking place at?
It's gonna be in England. I don't know. I'm not sure the name of the city, but it's gonna be September 25th. I wanna say, and so it's gonna be a 15-minute match and submission only, with the gi. So looking forward to that. I like good competitors, and I'm also gonna be there after that for 1 week, maybe a couple seminars. So looking forward for the tournament, and like I've seen like just the videos and the press about that, and I'm glad to be part of it. It's gonna look great, yeah.
Absolutely. How frequently do you do tournaments right now? Like, what's your? Are you purposefully keeping them spaced out, or do you just kind of sort of accept fights as they come along and hope they fit in? Like, how do you negotiate that?
Like for example, right now I'm just keeping my training sharp. So as much I can do, I'm gonna fight super fights, and next week I'm actually doing American Nationals as well. So yeah, like as much as I can, I try to compete. Especially when I'm in shape and no injuries like
Yeah, no
right now.
shit.
So I try to do as much as I can.
Probably feels great. Well,
Feels
Gabe,
great.
where can people find you if they're trying to check you out, see where you're fighting next, and keep an eye on your jiu-jitsu stylings?
Pretty much just Gabriel Arges on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and or my website, argesbjj.com. You guys can find me out there, and then keep in touch, support me.
That wasn't a question. That was a directed command in case listeners weren't sure. So you have a very dangerous man who can come and beat you up. Well, Gabe, we think the world of you, man. That's really cool. We've been fans. We watched all of your highlights. I mean, you're doing good stuff, and I can only imagine the type of training that you are both giving and helping with out here.
For sure. Thank you.
Not a problem.
And Gabe Arges, Arges Online. Ladies and gentlemen, a great special guest, especially as Raph and I keep from the Edwin Najmi Flying Triangles, as well as the Gabe Arges Flying Triangles, which I imagine are also very good, if we're just being honest. Great wrap-up. Thanks, guys, very much for swinging by the podcast.
Thank you so much for talking to us, and it was great. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. I had a great time. I'm looking forward to seeing the episode.
Raph, the little engine that could, with the world tour known as UFC 189, certainly leapt down. It leapt up a mountain. That's what it did. Mm-hmm. Nothing short of leapt for a train, if we're following the metaphor. And we finally arrived at whatever Mendez McGregor mountain is left. We're going to do some over-under Kevin.
Yes, begrudgingly, because the card has changed. The most prominent fight is now obsolete. Not like they took a world tour to go promote it or anything, but whatevsies. Everybody's cool with it. Dana's not. So the interesting part about this is, Kev, whenever we do an over-under Kevin, I try and find you somebody kind of on paper should be equally matched to you, right?
No, that has never been your paradigm. No.
Well, I try and
You've
find
always picked people with like crazy credentials that have helped bankrupt Vegas or beat up people in the 90s.
Sure. And the weird part about this is, Kev, this week I was like, all right, what are things Kevin's known for? Kevin is known for being a comic, apparently, I'm told. And he's also known for being a purple belt, which, I found another one. It's like you can throw a rock here in L.A. and you can find one of those.
Well, yeah, especially in L.A. where they're just giving them out like street hot dogs. But yeah.
That's interesting you would say that because I
I don't
actually
know where
have
that
a
came from.
Jean-Jacques purple belt and the owner of the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our friend Joey Hauss. Joey, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Yourself?
Not bad. What is your first impression of Kevin hearing all that he had to say about LA Jiu-Jitsu?
Well, coming from BC, the fact that he's talking shit on Southern California Jiu-Jitsu, kind of, I won't say the epicenter of it, but kind of close to it. And yes, I did get my purple belt from Jean-Jacques Machado, so not quite the same thing as getting a street hot dog, but I'm sure the purple belt I'm sure they come too easily either, though.
No, Raph, I agree.
So,
I genuinely do. I agree. And if you want to learn to do jiu-jitsu from your shoulder blades, head to Southern California. There's no better place to learn it on earth to do it from your shoulder blades. If you want to learn jiu-jitsu from any other position, go someplace else. That's my theory. I don't know if you guys want to comment.
Leg locks aren't like real jiu-jitsu anyway, so.
Exactly. First of all, thanks for saying it.
So Joey, you did a wonderful seminar yesterday. You guys hosted who was there?
That was Brian Peterson. Brian Peterson is a phenomenal instructor over at Big John McCarthy's gym. I started as a student under him. He actually promoted me to my blue belt. And I've been to a couple of his seminars, and every time I leave with something that actually stays a part of my game, like forever. So, if you're getting garrote applauded by me or anything like that, that is Brian Peterson's doing.
Hey, that's a podcast favorite move. Barato Plata. Don't trend it on.
I'm really glad that Kevin is really trying to take ownership of it now, too. Joey, for those of us who may not know you, tell us 3 things we should know about you right now.
All right. Well, I am a purple belt in Jiu-Jitsu under Jean-Jacques Machado. I was a sergeant in the United States Marine Corps, and I don't know. I'm going between that. I was a college wrestler as well.
Okay.
And I've done stand-up comedy. That's 4 things. I stuck it in there.
Well, okay. You weren't asked for 4. You were asked for 3, so we're just going to discard one of them. We're going to discard that you were a wrestler, because what importance does that have?
I was tossing out the Marine Corps stuff, Raph. I figured we should keep the jiu-jitsu. It's just difficult with... Is he good looking, too? I feel like he is from my pictures I've seen. I just don't like his ego. I'm adding a 5th thing. Sorry, go ahead, Raph. What were you saying?
I was saying he probably has 5 more pack than you, so... or do we count Kevin has like a negative 6-pack? Is that something you can have? Because I think that's what Kevin has.
Well, they're just facing the wrong direction. They're just they're there. They just don't. They're not braggers. So there's just no need to get out.
So the beauty of it is, yesterday they hosted a great seminar. Joey obviously had a great connection with Brian. Brian actually cooked a great set of ribs. That I was highly entertained, and I couldn't figure out if he was a better rib cooker or if he was a better instructor. What say you, Joey?
Oh, that's a close one, but the reason I had him teach a seminar and I had him cook the ribs was because he's pretty phenomenal at both.
One might say that's deceptive, Joey, to have someone come to do a seminar at your LA Jiu-Jitsu Club just so that you could get ribs.
Well, I'm hungry. This thing is not a cheap operation to run. And so, however I can get food, whether it be my parents or friends teaching seminars at the club, I'm not ashamed to do any of it.
Now, he put down he was a coral belt in barbecue. Do you feel he lives up to that?
I would say so. Like, I'm not 100% sure on his lineage, but...
Okay.
He is pretty good at the barbecue.
Okay.
Joey's like, I don't want to commit until I know he's not like a barbecue online student. And then once I understand that he really put the time in on the grill.
Controversy right now.
So, Joey, before we go on any further, obviously, we've talked about the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club here on the show. For somebody who's never heard of it, what is it? What's the premise? And what is the rationale behind you guys doing that?
I guess the best way I would describe it is kind of like it's a jiu-jitsu supplement. It's not going to be your number 1 academy. And if it is, we'll actually be happy to teach you. But what it is people who already train at different academies, they come here and we kind of exchange techniques. We do open mat. We don't belt anybody here. And we also do a lot of cool seminars. We've had as you said, Brian Peterson. We've had Felicia O. We've had Richie Boogeyman Martinez. Gary Tonin has done a seminar here. And we do like seminars. You become a member and you get these discounts on seminars. You get free for all these open mats. And we do a lot of just hanging out afterwards. We do a lot of jiu-jitsu, and then we jump into our pool. Sometimes we have a barbecue and we eat delicious ribs.
It's actually quite an enjoyable experience. So to anybody wondering about it, it's the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club. It's a wonderful, wonderful place, and people can actually stay there too as well?
Yes, we are. We do act as a bed and breakfast. So let's say you do train in Washington, D.C., and you want to know what Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is all about, you come to Southern California, and you come to the Los Angeles Jiu-Jitsu Club. You stay, you can train here, and we are very close to a lot of the academies that are nearby. A lot of these big academies are only 30, 35 minutes away tops.
I just enjoy the fact that you have this ability to do this sort of stuff, and that you have people who just randomly are there. When Gary was teaching his seminar, did somebody happen to stay there that night?
Oh, we had a few people staying here that night, but we actually did have Samir Chantry and Oswaldo Cacheno staying here. They weren't at the seminar because they were busy competing at Worlds, but they actually stayed here. We are having a Samir Chantry seminar. I want to say July 26th. It's on a Saturday. It is around that time. We will have the date up when I know 100%, but I believe it's July 26th.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It was just funny to look around and see Gary hosting a seminar and teaching. And Samir's like, okay, you guys got to go compete at Worlds. And you're like, where am I?
Yeah. We got to train with them as well. And we get beat up by these world champions on a pretty consistent basis. So it is not a bad gig. I think that's the reason we actually started this club, was just so we can train as much jiu-jitsu with some of the best guys out there. Just whenever we don't even have to go anywhere. We're just at home.
That's so cool. Well, like I said, you guys want to check out the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club. If you're coming out here from out of town, please go give them a look up. It's really cool. They couldn't be two nicer guys. And, I think that's enough doing all of that. Kev, do you want to get straight to the game?
I am fucking begging that you'll stop the charming Joey parade it's been so far, and we can get to some real gritty UFC 189 action.
All right, let's do it.
Hold on, that was my cue to hit the sound, wasn't it?
No, just that's the cue to...
It's time for another thrilling installment of
Only took me an extra 5 seconds to get caught up on that 10 rep. As a text message comes in.
I really appreciate that you also got an update on your phone as well at the same time.
I always re-edit in the audio. I just like to use it as a placeholder. You know this.
Okay. I do, but it's still the stupidest thing we do on this show when the guest is like, what the fuck is happening? All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the way it works. It's over under Kevin. Basically what we do is we put Kevin's ability to not win at picking UFC pay-per-view picks in fights against anybody else. And this week we brought on our good friend Joey Hauss from the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club to take on Kevin's picks.
Hello.
The way it works is it is very simple. We do 15-second increments. Both competitors get to say who they think will win, make their arguments. If I so feel it, I will allow 15 seconds for rebuttal. We do this all the way throughout the card, randomly picked at a whim's notice. And at the end, it's best out of 11 because there are 11 fights right now. Things can change. We've learned that about UFC 189. And that's about it. Gentlemen, do you have any questions before we start? Joey?
No, I think it's pretty straightforward.
Okay. Okay, Joey, you've gotten to hear Kevin. Do you think he's a little afraid of you, considering, I don't know, I mean, you've been doing comedy for less time. You're already funnier than him. Is that a problem? Do you think he's jealous of that?
Are you guys both still there? 'Cause I can't.
I'm still here.
That's directed at Kevin. Is what I hate.
Well, okay, let's ask that one again there, Joey. Do you think Kevin is afraid of you, that long silence doesn't bode well for you?
Happy to answer. No, this is Joey. I'm sure Kevin's a skilled and usable opponent, and he just understands. There it is.
That was a good
Nailed it.
vocal impression of Joey.
Thank you. I
Really
thought
tell
I
the
did.
Jewish in him, Kev. So
I
really,
put a
really
lot
good
of
job.
work into it. I put a lot of work.
Joey, if you were to respond as Kevin, how would you say your braggadociousness for this contest?
I don't know, I'm actually kind of upset about the Jewish comment right there.
You don't get to tell the moderator what you think.
I feel
was
that
pretty
I've
upset
already
too,
got
guys.
this, that Kevin really isn't going to be much of a match for me. I feel like I've seen his record, and it is pretty bad.
It is actually terrible. We do have that on record. All right, gentlemen, let's get straight to it. All right. The first fight is going to be a bantamweight competition. It is going to be Brad Pickett versus Thomas Almeida. Kev, you start us off. You have 15 seconds on the clock. Go.
This is easy. I'm from the South. We'll be taking Brad One Punch Pickett from England over the Brazilian favorite. This is a little bit of an upset alert on my watch. Brad One Punch Pickett from England. UK.
All right. Let's don't use accents ever again. Joey, I'm putting 15 seconds on the clock. You go.
All right, let's start this 1-0 against Kevin here. I'm going to go with Almeida. He's undefeated. You always got to take the up-and-comer versus kind of the tough guy who's approaching the end of his career.
Oh, Kev, would you say he's close to the end of his career?
Joey, I'm not going to retire anyone. It's 25-10. That tends to be more of a submission fighter because I respect that about the submission fighter. Plus, it's 135 pounds. You can fight until you're 90. No one notices.
Okay. We're going to go back to Joey on this. Joey, do you think it's odd that Kevin would bring up submission fighting when he clearly does not know what that is? 15 to you.
Well, I thought he was a purple belt, but as you said, it is in GC, so I would say that is correct.
Okay. That's very good. I like where this is headed. Gentlemen, it seems like you
Look
have a
out.
nice...
Someone won't stop throwing flames this way, Raph. I'm just going to say, let's keep the guests appropriate while we're...
I'm not doing anything. However, update for everybody in the other 49 states. Just in, Washington, D.C. just got the lapel guard. So we're waiting to hear word on how that goes. But let's go to our next fight. Kevin, shut up. Don't.
Okay.
We're going to go to our next fight. Our next fight is a welterweight fight. It's between Gunnar Nelson and Brandon Thatch. We're going to start with you, Joey. 15 on the clock.
I'm going to have to go with Gunnar Nelson on this one. I feel they're both tough fighters. They're both coming off losses to tough guys, but I guess I got to go with the grappler against the striker, so I'm going to go with Gunnar Nelson.
All right. Kevin, got 15 on the clock for you.
Oh, all I hear is that moment when Gore was like, no, I'm also like Bush. I can do things. I just hear Joey adapting my grappler peel strategy. Brandon Thatch is the ruckus. He's from the USA. Gunnar Nelson is from fucking Iceland.
All right, let me go back
This is
to
a Mighty Ducks line
Kevin,
drawn.
shut up.
Brandon Thatch
Here's the thing,
is.
Joey, I'm going to ask you a question.
I'm not going to pick
The
Gunnar
question I have
from
for you,
fucking Gordon
Kevin?
Bombay's hate list.
Kevin?
Like, as an American, I'm not going to choose it, Raph.
Kevin, if you keep talking, I'm not going to give you a pick next go around. So, shut your mouth and wait for your turn. It's rude to speak over our guest. I'm going to go back to you over here, Joey, because I have to ask you. Kevin was spewing out a lot of nonsense. Did you pick up anything from it? Was there any insight into how he's making his picks now?
Yes, it's probably not the most intelligent way, but in his defense, as a Marine, the day after Independence Day, I probably should go with the American, but I'm going with my gut, and I will say Gunnar Nelson. I'm going to stick with that.
All right, Kev, I'm going to still ask you this. You know, he did bring up the fact he was a Marine. Do you think he's feeling a little self-conscious now about his pick? 7 seconds on the clock.
He's appealed to the grapplers. He's appealed to the Marines. I have a feeling he's going to be like, no, trust me, I'm for the kids next. If I'm going to go, pets are on the way.
Don't worry. He's like ODB. Wu-Tang is for the children, kids. Wu-Tang is for the children. Let's go to our next fight. Kev, you're going to lead us off on this one. It is a welterweight match between Matt Brown and Tim Means.
First of all, mean mug alert. I always go with the dirty bird. Tim Means is my man. I ride or die with him. We're like a Fast and the Furious movie without all of the close ties. Tim Means, baby.
Let's go ahead and put it on the record that Kevin actually did not pick Tim Means in his last fight. So just for the public record, Kevin did not pick Tim Means on the last fight. But let's go ahead and go to Joey. 15 seconds on the clock. Go.
I've also got Tim Means. I feel he has the. They're both coming off wins, but I mean, Means is coming off wins and Brown's coming off losses. Like once again, I feel that he's more of the up and comer, and I'm not feeling that way about Matt Brown right now.
Okay. Well, Kev, explain yourself. Why did you vote against Tim Means last time?
First of all, no one ever votes against Tim Means. They only vote for him being in an alcohol-induced coma before the fight. That's what people presume. I thought he was going to party before the last one. He didn't, so I'm going with him this time. But frankly, over number 5, ranked the Immortal, not interested.
All right. And Joey, on this side, you're convinced about what? What is it that's speaking to you about Tim Means right now?
Dirty bird.
Say that one more time. What is it about what?
What is it that is speaking out to you about Tim Means right now? The dirty bird.
He's kind of just on a tear right now. He keeps winning, and I can't really say the same for Matt Brown.
Ooh, have you considered that Matt Brown has faced some pretty big opponents? I mean, does that ever weigh into any kind of factor, or are you just?
Yeah, it was the fact that they were both the guys in the title fight, but I feel like that would do something to your psyche, and I feel that it's when you have momentum on your side, things are a little bit easier.
Okay. All right, Joey, we're going to stick with you on this next fight. It's going to be a bantamweight fight between Cody Garbrandt and Henry Briones. You have 15 on the clock. Go.
I actually have no idea on that one. That is...
Which name sounds prettier to you?
I'm going to go with Briones.
Okay, Briones. Okay.
Briones.
Kev, what do you got for us?
Undefeated America, 100% KO, TKO artist, Cody, no love, neck tattoo, Garbrandt.
Okay. Kev, I'm going to stick with you on this. Why that pick? 15 seconds.
Neck tattoo, Raph. I said neck tattoo. Have I ever said neck tattoo and not chosen the fighter? The answer is probably no. I can't be clear because this is a new paradigm. But if you have a full neck tattoo, I usually pick you because
I'm going to give you a few more. I'm going to give you 5 more seconds because people, you may understand this is an audio podcast, so people don't get to see what the tattoo is.
It is
Can you
a
describe it?
fucking thick neck tattoo. Like there is no skin of his neck left. It is a tribal symbol that makes him look like a member of an X-Men cast without the sweater.
Okay. Without the sweater? How many X-Men members are wearing sweaters?
You know they're wearing that stupid Ivy League sweater with the X on the front. It's like a turtleneck. It's like the mock turtle.
No.
As a tactical garment, X-Men were the
So
first
stupid.
ones to recognize.
When Kevin tries to make references that don't hit, it's the most magical part on the show. It always makes me laugh the most. Kev, we're going to stick on you for this next fight. It is a welterweight fight between Robbie Lawler and Rory McDonald, which, by the way, is a championship fight, which means I got to give you 20 seconds, actually. So, go.
Fuck Rory McDonald and his stupid face. I hope they mean tweet that on Kimmel. Not a fan. Choosing ruthless Robbie Lawler, also assuming his much-needed slumber will help him prevail.
Okay. Let's go ahead and make sure that we make it very clear that Rory McDonald would never make it on Kimmel to have mean tweets said about him because he's that boring. Let's go over to Joey. 15 seconds on the clock.
I am also going to be going for Robbie Lawler in this. It has nothing to do with Rory McDonald's stupid face. I feel you have to go with the champion in a championship fight unless it's a huge up-and-comer, which I don't think Rory McDonald exactly is. So I'm going to go with Robbie Lawler.
Okay. All right, Kev, what do you think of that choice?
Sounds like someone's pandering to what the consensus expert on the show already said. That's what it sounds like.
I have a 50-50 shot here, and we're going to have to agree on something.
Just in case, Kevin, you were too stupid to figure out the way the game works.
What the odds were. I was like, oh, see, I thought I had a 33% chance, so that's why we're approaching it differently. I get it now. Yeah, that's my fault.
I could listen to that all day. Let's go to our next fight. It is a flyweight bout, and Joey, we're going to stick on you for this one. It is a flyweight bout between Neil Seary and Louis Smolka.
Smokla? I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce his last name. I'm going to go with Smokla because of I think he has a better record.
Okay. Kev?
He thinks he has a better record is code for I'm looking at his page and I can't do the math fast enough. I can do the math fast enough. The Last Samurai versus Two Tap. This is easy. I'm going with Luis Smolka.
Okay. I need to go to Joey. Joey, I need to ask you. Kevin accused you of not being able to do the math slow enough. Are you able to do the math slow enough?
I will admit that he got me on the page being open, but the math's slow enough. Not quite. I get that Luis Smolka does have a better record than Neil Seary.
Well, okay. I think that's pretty thorough. Let's go to our next match, guys. It is going to be a welterweight fight. Kev, you're going to lead us off on this one. It's Mike Swick versus Alex Garcia. Go.
Mike Swick has fucked me before. You know that. You do know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Dominican Nightmare is fucking not in because Mike Swick, I've got to do it again. I'm going with him again. He doesn't have gloves on in his picture. I have to pick that.
Okay. So you're going with Swick on that one, yeah?
Yeah.
It was a big fake out. And I would love to give Joey his time to go, but let's talk about what you said there. What was the exact phrasing you were using?
He fucked me before.
Okay, where on the doll did he touch you? Please
come on, Raph.
demonstrate
this
where.
This goes back a few fights. I love Mike.
That's
Swick.
the end of that. All right, let's go to Joey. Joey, you have 15 seconds on the clock. Go.
All right, we all heard what Kevin said, and because I'm going to go with Alex Garcia, I will stay with the un-American thing of picking the un-American fighter, but I feel he does have a better record, and I think he's a little bit more jacked as well. So I'm going to go with
Is
that.
the word un-American? Is that how we refer to them? The un-American? He's the Dominican Nightmare. That's his nickname. Not the un-American Nightmare. I'm just saying, for the record, I think it's important.
I'm still sticking with him.
It's an interesting choice of words, Kevin. It's still like, Ref, he's fucked me. He's fucked me, and you know that. It's like, it's phrasing, Phrasing at its finest, Kevin. All right.
Phrasing.
Let's go to our next fight. Joey, you're going to lead us off on this one. It is a featherweight fight between Dennis Bermudez and Jeremy Stevens. 15, go.
Dennis Bermudez, Jeremy Stevens. I'm going to go with Bermudez. Jeremy Stevens is coming off of 2 losses, and Dennis Bermudez is kind of on his way up, so I'm going to go with him.
Okay. All right, Kev, what do you got for us? 15 on the clock, go.
No one's getting knocked out. That's for goddamn sure. But if it happens, Jeremy Lil Heathen Stevens is on a real heater, and I have a great feeling about his striking. This one's not going to go to the ground because they're too wet and small.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Joey. What's a heater?
What is a heater? I have no idea. I think Kevin's talking nonsense over here.
Okay, good. That's a good perceptive pick. I'm going to ask Kevin. Kev, I've got 15 seconds on the clock. Just curious, what's a heater?
A heater is an MMA version for 1-2 lost 2. He might have lost his last few fights. That doesn't mean he didn't win the few before that. So he's on an MMA heater.
Can you do me a favor? Can you describe where the word heater comes from in a context, please, for MMA?
Yeah, you know how in Minnesota, sometimes your heater will come on and off, and you'll say it's on a bit of a heater? Is that...
No.
Yeah, I'm from Southern California. I've never heard that before.
I'll work on it then. Joey and Rap, you two are both from South Carolina. Neither of you understand what's going on.
From South Carolina, too.
Sorry, I got stuck in the racist mode. You're both from South California, Southern California, whatever you want to call it. Neither of you understand what's going on in the red states.
The best part of this that's happening right now is Kevin refuses to just let it drop.
You're from East Low, California, wherever that is. It's on the
going
other side.
out, just
it's at the bottom.
punching in every direction he can, not connecting to anything. But, you know, Kevin, you have to admire your ability to just
stay on an MMA heater.
When you say heater and you are trying to define it in the MMA context, and your definition is actually worse than the contextual definition.
Thought I killed it.
It's magic. Thank you, Kevin. Of course you did. All right, we're going to go to this next fight. Joey, no, it's Kevin. Kevin, you're going to lead us off on this one. It is a welterweight fight between Cathal Pendred versus John Howard.
Please tell me BJ Penn's going to be in the back yelling, Cathal! Cathal!
I hear it's very different. No,
I feel like Cahal's overrated. I always have a little bit. He was on the week season of The Ultimate Fighter. John Doomsday Howard is taking this one home for the local drinking crowd.
Okay, that's good. We're actually going to let special guest BJ Penn announce the next several minutes of this telecast. Jay, are you in the studio right now? Definitely, Braj. No, here. Let's go ahead. Okay.
Hey.
Right now, we're gonna go to our good friend. You know him. He's a Braj. He loves burritos too. Like, you gotta love him, like everybody. So let's go to Joey Hauss. Joey, who do you have? 15 seconds, Braj.
I'm not even Hawaiian. I am horribly offended by that. I'm going to go with, I'm going to say Cathal Pendred, just because it's a better record.
Oh, okay. That way I can yell alcohol, even though it's not offensive. No,
He always yells it. Yell your thing that you yell when Cahal's fighting.
When I would be all, Cahal.
Yeah. That's the
one. Cahal. A lot of people have wondered why I haven't been on this podcast, but like, I'm getting put into the UFC Hall of Fame, y'all. So if the impression is a bit rusty, it's because I haven't been brought back on in so long.
I'm actually kind of impressed. That's not too bad.
Oh, no, it's actually really good. You wouldn't know, though. All right, I'm gone forever, BJ Penn. Okay, so that was entertaining. Thank you, BJ. We appreciate you stopping by the podcast, as always. Kev, let me ask you this, though. Do you feel that, at this point, where are you mentally? Do you feel that you have somebody who is pushing the pressure? Do you have somebody that is pushing the action? Or do you feel that this is somebody who you have a chance at submitting?
I feel like a 205-pounder and a 135-pound bout. If you really want to know, Raph, I feel like I have a lot of advantage here. It's up to me to screw it up, and I don't think I'm going to.
Joey, your response to that?
This is like fighting Eric Medina when you know jiu-jitsu. You know, it's easy. It's just not very difficult.
Oh, I don't even know what you are talking about right now. I'm still lost on BJ.
I would just like to ask you, Joey, did it get a little bit more serious when he brought up your wife?
When he brought up my wife?
Yeah, your wife, Eric Medina.
Eric, got it. Well, you know, Eric does his own thing. Like, you can talk all this shit on Eric you want. I know he is a flawed man. Let's say that.
For those of you who are listening in and thinking this is an inappropriate joke, I will let you know it's 100% not. inappropriate. This is a joke that both Eric and Joey make about each other. They refer to each other as husband and husband, or sometimes husband and wife, depending on the context. It's just their weird dynamic, and somehow it's wonderfully fitting, and we're glad for the both of you.
Well, thank you. As you know, things are changing in this country.
It's 2015.
Oh my god. When they make it real, it gets weird. Let's go to I think on this one, is it Joey that starts it? Yeah. Joey, it is the fight between Yosdenis Sedeno versus Cody Pster.
I'm going to go with Yo Dennis. That is a fucking cool name.
The Pink Panther. Yeah.
Dennis is such a great name. Kevin, you have for us 15, go.
I'm afraid I have to hear Bruce Buffer announce Cody the Fist Fister as a victory march because I have no choice. So I'm going with Cody Fister, obviously.
Is there any other reason that you are banking on this guy?
None. Not another single reason other than his name.
Especially in the fact that it is the first fight on the card.
I'm afraid I'm going to need you to... It was Yosdenis Sedeno versus who, Raph? Cody what?
I believe his name is Fister.
Fister! Thank you. That was who I was... I'm Team Fister. Who are you, Team Joey? Sedeno?
I'll go with the first name, Yo Dennis.
Yeah, okay. That is cooler. I agree with him on that.
It is a meeting of the worlds.
Team Fister, baby. Team Fister. Thank you.
Hold on. Kev, what's his name again?
Team Fister.
Fister, I hardly know her. Hey-o. All right, let's go to our final fight. I'm so sorry I did that, but I'm not. We've got 20 seconds. And, the weird part is I know we need to do the actual prediction for this fight, but I just want the two of you to talk me through how you think the fight would have gone between Conor McGregor and Jose Aldo. I'm going to give Kevin 20 seconds, and then I'm going to give Joey 20 seconds, and then we're going to talk about the actual fight that's happening, probably. Yeah, we think so. All right, Kev, go.
What do you mean would have gone? What happened to Jose? Obviously, I think Conor McGregor would have lost to Jose Aldo. I think he's going to beat Chad Mendes. I believe he would have lost to Jose Aldo via ground and pound. I think Jose would have got him on the ground. I believe he's going to beat Chad Mendes via TKO in the first round.
All right. Same prompt over to you, Joey.
I think on Conor McGregor versus Jose Aldo, I would definitely give the fight to Jose Aldo. How could you not? He's been given top competition, and he destroyed him time and time again. Conor McGregor, I feel, is a great opponent. Just I don't think he's at that level yet. I think Chad Mendes is actually going to out-wrestle Conor McGregor, and I think it's going to be a decision. People aren't going to be happy with it, but I think Chad Mendes is going to take it.
Wow. Okay. So, Kevin, let me ask you this. Who did you have winning this fight?
You already know. Conor McGregor.
Okay, so a lot of people have said that Conor McGregor hasn't really faced a wrestler of this caliber before. What is your response to that?
Good stuff. 145 pound, there's no such thing as wrestling your opponent down for the entire match. Conor McGregor's huge. He has a 3-inch reach advantage. He's bigger. Not going to get wrestled. Not going to happen.
Okay. Joey, as somebody who actually knows what they're talking about in wrestling, do you see that there's an outside chance?
Picking it up.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we establish that one person knows what they're talking about in wrestling. And, So, Joey, my response...
So the question was, does Conor McGregor have an outside chance of getting him? Yes.
No, well, let's ask this. Does Chad Mendes, because some people actually, depending on what day it is in Vegas, they put him as an underdog in this fight, and then some days he's actually the favorite. With his wrestling, because Conor McGregor doesn't have that kind of experience fighting a wrestler of that caliber, do you think that's a problem for him? And do you think he could be overtaken now?
Yes, I do think that's going to be a problem for him. Facing a wrestler of that caliber is a big deal. It's basically it will someone like Chad Mendes can dictate what he wants to fight. Probably doesn't want to fight standing with Conor McGregor. He'll be able to take him down. I won't say it will, but he will take him down almost every time that he wants to. And Conor McGregor has to deal with that when he's trying to go for any of his strikes. As far as him being the underdog, Conor McGregor is a good shit talker, and by being a good shit talker, he's good at making people think he may be better than he is. I think he's very good. I'm not quite sure he's ready for this league of fighters yet, but I guess we will find out on July 8th or 9th or 11th when the fight is happening.
Whenever this fight's going down.
Who can remember? Honestly.
That would be amazing if Dana, just for funsies, is like, whatever, we're going to fucking lose money, so it's on a fucking Thursday now. Fuck you guys. Kev, I'm so interested in this, but before we get to the final part, I do want to say this real quick. Joey, as you may or may not know, on this show, whenever we do Over Under Kevin, we actually have a wager that we do, a little bet between you and Kevin. It's not of monetary value because, let's face it, you, new business, us, podcast. So what we do is we come up with creative ideas. Kevin, what are some of the things that you've had to do when you've lost?
Who can remember, Raph? 100 push-ups while buying ice cream. A little song for someone. A holiday card. Can't wait to show them the results of that shoot. Things of that nature.
Okay. Yep. So Kevin sometimes had to change his Twitter account to the photo of the winner. He's had to cut promos as a wrestler. You name it. He's had to do them all. Some of them.
Feels like I don't win that frequently now that I think about it.
Yep.
In terms of
so, Joey, do you have something in mind? Don't tell me what it is right now, but do you have something that you're kind of thinking of in the back of your mind that you could maybe bet Kevin?
I think so. I think I do, yes.
Okay, good. Okay, before we go any further, I do want to ask, though, Kevin, did you really think that Conor McGregor was going to beat Jose Aldo?
I thought he had a chance to, yeah, I do. His size. I thought his size might genuinely pose a problem because Aldo does feel like he's lost a step or two. But to Joey's point, I'm not sure that was enough steps to lose to Conor McGregor, but he does feel a little not the fighter he was.
And for you, Joey, I have to ask this, because when it became apparent that Jose Aldo had a rib injury, would that not be the first thing you'd target if that fight was allowed to go on?
Yeah, I would say that, but what are you going to do? You're going to get in a kickboxing match with Jose Aldo? You can target it, but you got to go into a fight that Jose Aldo is comfortable going into.
Okay. I just wasn't sure because I was thinking, man, if he gets one good kick in there, even if he's not the most high caliber kickboxer, that still fucking hurts your rib to the point where Dana had thrown so much money that you're just kind of like, oh.
Well, all these UFC fighter guys they're all super tough. Anytime any of them eats any leg kick, I'm like, how are you still standing? I would be done. So... they're all tough dudes. I think Jose Aldo would be able to take a rib kick, even though he does have the injury.
Okay. All right. That's good stuff for me. All right. I'm glad that we were able to do all of those fights. Let's do this real quick. For tiebreakers, Joey, sometimes we have to do they give out 2 performances of the night to 2 individuals who they feel did a great fight and usually win. So they give out 2 performances of the night, and they also give out a fight of the night. So this is what we use as a tiebreaker in the weird event that you guys should tie. And believe me, it's happened, and it's come down to this. So do you have 2 individuals that you think will win performance of the night?
Performance of the night, maybe Mike Swift and maybe Jeremy Steer.
Okay. You know what? Those aren't bad picks. Let's go to Kevin.
Performance of the night, easy. Conor McGregor. It's not going to matter. That I have to pick him. Fight of the night, Lawler McDonald.
Okay, did you have a second performance of the night?
I'm thinking, yes. And my second performance of the night, Matt Brown versus Tim Means. Tim Means gets it.
Okay, so it's Tim Means, Conor McGregor, and then your fight of the night is what again?
Lawler McDonald.
Okay, great. And you gave me 2 performances of the night. Let's ask what you think will be the fight of the night, Joey.
Maybe Alex Garcia, Mike Swick.
Okay. All right. These are interesting picks. Joey, I now turn this to you. As our guest, you have the ability to dictate what you think the bet should be between you and Kevin. Kevin may recounter if he so feels like it. but sometimes he doesn't because some people pick such great ideas. Joey, what do you have in mind for Kevin?
I feel the loser, because I am confident in my picks. I feel the loser basically has to shit on their city of jiu-jitsu. So they'll have to put I guess Kevin would have to put Washington D.C. Jiu-Jitsu sucks on his Facebook. So I can make that a status on all his social media.
Oof. Okay. Kev, do you have a counter?
I accept under the following terms. It is not just a status update. It is a 20-second to 30-second Facebook video.
Oh, shit. All right.
Explaining that the other person is what's turned it. So, like, I will give Joey Hauss credit for changing my worldview on LA Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Raph, we've come to an accord.
Well-
We are at an accord.
It was done so civilly, I might add.
Well, that's what happens when you get two good-looking guys together. You know, you just, like, things happen. Raph,
Well, where do
wouldn't
you
know.
come into this, Kevin? Because
Oh, good
Joey
stuff.
knows.
Hey, there it is.
So slow. You when you get the sweep, you only have a small window, Kev. You got to get in where you can. So,
Yeah, that's
just letting you know. Well, Joey, we can't thank you enough for coming on through. Where can people find you on the social media?
You can find me on any social media just by my name, Joey Hauss. My club, the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club, on Instagram and Facebook. And we actually, quick plug, we all are going to be doing Jiu-Jitsu in the Park on July 19th at Griffith Park. That is a big event that we are doing, so Eric and I are part of it, so go to that.
Can I ask a very personal question?
Are we on the air? Sure, why not?
My question is, last time you and Eric had a super fight, and then for whatever reason, people said that you guys just started taking off your gis and mid-match of a gi match. What?
It went from a gi to a no gi match, yes, that is what happened.
Okay. Because that wasn't the way it was described to us on our show.
during the match where you guys were just like, no, not another second will go by with all these clothes on? Or when you would talk me through the decision?
Sounds like it. He's
I'll take
silence
that
is golden
as
here.
publicity,
Yep.
yeah.
Well, Joey, again, we can't thank you enough. We are glad that you were able to do this with us. Will you be willing to come back on the show next week and go over the fights?
Yeah, I would love to.
Fantastic. We'll get an update on that, and we'll figure out what day Samir's seminar is going to be, because you'll have enough time to go and read it. I think it's probably the 25th
I think it's
or
July
26th.
26th, but don't quote me on it. I believe it's July 26th, though.
Well, you have a whole week to get it together, and then we can
Yes, I
figure it out
do.
from there, and we'll see how your picks do. I want to thank you so much, Joey, and thank you again for hosting a great seminar and barbecue yesterday. It was really a lot of fun, man.
Thanks for coming.
Raph Esparza, what a podcast. I think I beat Joey. What do you think, to be honest?
Well, we don't know because we haven't seen it yet.
I also think I beat Edwin. What do you think about that?
You definitely didn't beat him.
And I definitely wiped the floor with Gabe. So
I would no
3 for 3.
No
3
no,
and 0.
Nope. You have a chance against Joey, but
It's like I don't remember a competition against the other two.
no. I'm pretty sure they were just guests. We don't usually compete against the guests.
That's your perspective.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna do some. You ready to shout it out? You ready for some thank
Yeah, let's do
yous? Hey, I'm loving no gi season. Training out in some Chantilly, VA. Let me know if you want to come do some training out here. If you're hanging out, you got me. You got some Jiu-Jitsu Finder. What more could you need, Raph? That's all I'm saying. I'm digging the hell out of your First Slice articles. I'm going to give you a shout out specifically. You might have tuned me in. The Top Gun is coming back. Ugh.
Take my breath
That's
away,
the
Kevin.
best. Take it. My breath is taken away, Raph. It's taken away. Big shout outs also to the Submission Series Pro. I've been watching all the fights. I've been getting.
And we have an announcement. They actually will not be doing the stream live for this one, Kevin. So that just changed. They're going to put it up, I believe, on July 12th. So keep an eye out for that. I know a lot of us will want to see those matches, and they will be available. But from what I've seen, they will be out on July 12th. So, ta-da!
Well, I'm stoked, and that's all for me.
Let me go ahead and shout out a couple people. Let's go ahead and first start again by shouting out two very cool people. Let's start by shouting out Alejandro Perez. Alex Perez, you kind of saved me by taking back that bag to our other good friend, Aaron Gonzalez Jr. Now, some of you may say, wow, Raph, that story could not be real. It's 100% real. And, yeah, I can't believe I took his bag. I feel so bad. So, my thanks to Alex for making the best of a bad situation and taking it on back. And my thanks to Aaron for being one of the nicest people I know. So, I'm very glad that I got the chance to shoot the shit with him. And he has a student, by the way. His student's name is Ed, but people call him Paulie. Now, Kev, when somebody walks up to you and they said, hey, my name's Raph, but everybody calls me Dave, would you have a red flag that just goes up?
Yes.
Yeah.
I already did.
So,
I did when you told me the story.
So when I was introduced to his student, and he's like, yeah, my name's Paulie, and he couldn't be nicer. I was just like, whatever, FBI informant, I'm on to you.
Whatever your motives are, I see you.
I see what you're doing here. So my thanks to Paulie or Ed or whatever, he's not supposed to be called by the FBI as he's hiding out from the mob. I just want to say thanks to those guys for great training. I also want to send a big shout out to Valley Martial Arts Center. Hey guys, let me tell you this. If you have a white belt who is looking to compete this week in the Southern California region, you're going to want to take part in the new Valley Martial Arts White Out competition. I believe that is going down this week, July 11th, which I believe it is on a Saturday. Where are we right now? Yeah, I think it's on a Saturday. So
this is Saturday.
You guys definitely, if you want to find out more information, you can go to valleymac.com. It is a white belt competition. If you guys have white belts, send them there. It's a really cool competition. Everybody is really chill. Nobody's crazy. And we always get good feedback from people. So please, 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 if you guys have people that you know would be interested, send them on that way. It's good stuff. And, they can always come yell at me, which is always an added bonus of coming to Valley Martial Arts Center. Let's go ahead and give our good friends.
Do it anyway.
I don't think you can do that, Kevin.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
I don't think you're a white belt last time I checked. You sometimes think like one, but
emotionally. Okay.
Yeah, I just. So let's thank everybody there. Let's thank everybody at the Breakdown Academy. That's all the good stuff. We hope John Evans feels a little bit better. He's a little under the weather, so John, get better. We hope you feel good. And you know what, Kev? I just want to say thank you to everybody at the Los Angeles Jiu-Jitsu Club. You guys are cool, and I can't wait to see more events coming from you guys. And who knows, maybe some other fun stuff. Maybe you guys have seen the video with me, Joey, and Eric, the two co-owners of the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club. If you haven't, go check those out at www.facebook.com/VerbalTapCast.
That's going to do it for us tonight here at Verbal Tap. I'm Kevin. Thanks for listening.
Good night and good fight.
Is that you stretching out? Good night, good fight.
No, it's the, when you have a good idea and you, rub your hands together, yep.
No. Done. Had a good idea.